With the Alpha Dawg, and I've got one exciting program for you today. Repair on demand. Now, what exactly does repair on demand mean? They're saying they got 16,000 techs on sublet. I don't even know how you could possibly do that. So today I've got Leslie Sparks, Mike Boyd, and the CEO, Randy Kobat. Leslie, tell us about 16,000 sublets. Tell me about repair on demand.
Sure. So repair on demand, we're really passionate about innovating in the automotive repair industry. We've got several different solutions that help us do that. But really, they all come together in how we enable accurate and efficient auto repair through both our proven technology solutions and that growing network of 16,000 plus technicians. But all these
how do you supply these to the dealers? I mean, is it for the dealers?
Yeah, well, so this year for NADA, we're really excited to take 3 of our solutions in particular to the dealer space. So one of those is Blue Driver Max, which is an easy to use scan tool that really helps with accurate appraisals. And it's even one of our consumer versions, the #1 selling on Amazon, but we've got one that's more enhanced and designed specifically for dealers. We also have a solution called Repair 360, which is a workflow solution designed to meet the needs of both sales and service. And we're excited to tell you more about that one. And the third option that we want to really highlight for NADA is the Repair Exchange. So this is a dynamic 2-sided marketplace, and it's integrated into Repair 360, but it allows dealers to easily connect with and communicate and manage their vendor relationships. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm trying to wrap my head around, you've got all these different solutions, but say I'm a dealer and I have a need. What am I going to do? I mean, how do I get in touch with you guys?
Well, we would love for you to come visit us at NADA.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And so
that wouldn't be booth 6237 in the North Hall, would it?
That's it.
That's the one.
That's it, Jim. Absolutely.
Yeah. And just to make it a little more enticing, we're offering demos of those solutions that I just mentioned. And anyone that's willing to give us a bit of their time, we will thank you with a $100 Amazon gift card. We will also have a contest running daily. We're giving away a nice
Wait a second, $100 gift card just for stopping by the booth and taking a demo?
Yeah.
Right.
Unbelievable. Randy, pick up where she left off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I would say that one of the things you mentioned is the 16,000 technicians that we have. And we've created that network through the technicians that use our software. So we have 2 software platforms, Recon Pro and Mobile Tech RX, that really power third-party vendors that do paintless dent repair, wheel repair, detailing. All kinds of the third-party vendors that dealerships use are powered by our software. And we have $1.7 billion worth of work going through our software today. And about 1/3 of that comes from the dealership community. And we're really focused on with connecting dealerships with these mobile technicians, solving things like what we call the grease pencil problem.
What kind of pain are we solving here?
Well, the grease pencil problem. So a dealership needs to get some work done to a car to recondition it, to get it ready to be resold. And they'll write what they need to do to that car in grease pencil on the windshield. And many times there's miscommunication, or there's additional work that needs to be done to that car that's not noted on the windshield. And
so
there's
they don't have it in the cost of the vehicle.
Yeah, or there's time lost in trying to communicate between the third-party vendor and the used car manager to approve that work. So we're really helping focus more efficiently managing those third-party repairers and helping the dealership do that and help them save time to get that car frontline ready faster.
Mike, take up.
So I think the big thing there, everything Randy said absolutely, makes sense to so many of the dealers listening. The way I generally explain it is the ability to throttle up and throttle down. So if you look at where the market's been and where it's going, right, it's moving, things are starting to normalize. But when we talk about reconditioning, and how do we buy and how do we sell more cars, that is an ecosystem of people that have been traditionally disconnected. So now imagine through the repair exchange, those 16,000 plus third-party vendors, you have your maybe 2 detail companies that you do a lot of work with, and they're the ones you always go to. But, there's a wonderful opportunity to pick up an extra 5, 10 cars, or you really want to attack the market. Now it makes it accessible to the.
So they're not taking a sun bath. They're not taking a sun bath behind the fence for 2 weeks,
which is the traditional way, right? We just sit it in the back.
Yeah.
And we hope and pray that they're going to make it to the front row at some point, and we lose customers. The customers are not going to wait. They just don't. They move on. If that car's not fully reconditioned and ready for retail, they're not seeing good photos, a compelling message, they're moving on to the next dealer. And traditionally, dealers just do not have options above what they already know. This opens that up. But the big key point is that these are solutions that we have actually connected. So that way, whether you're talking about the time of appraisal all the way through reconditioning to actually interacting with those third parties, you have options. You have levers that you can pull now. And it makes sense to all those people involved.
So you're saying that most dealers do not have enough techs to handle all of the workload when the workload's heaviest.
Absolutely. Well, because you got to think, if you have 2 or 3 people, that's great. They have a stress point where they just tap out. And then what do? What are you going to call your friend, the other dealer, and hope that they give you their person when they only have 2 people? That just doesn't happen. So again, you just don't have access to those quality individuals who are doing that job at those dealerships that you see and you drive by all the time. Now you'll be able to access them and bring them in as much or as little as needed. And the beauty there is that you're not hiring and firing. You're just creating a 2-way meaningful interaction that brings value to both sides.
And there's certain type of repairs, Jim, that are traditionally outsourced to a third-party vendor already. And this is just
okay. Let's talk about that.
Sure.
Yeah, please.
So this is just helping streamline that process and improve communications between vendors that you're already working with and the dealership, as well as exposing potentially new vendors that you weren't aware that might have availability in the future to do work for your dealership.
Randy, economically, how does this save dealer money? How do we save money by using your services?
Well, getting cars frontline ready faster can actually add a whole nother turn to your inventory. It's like adding a 13th month.
That's huge.
It's like adding a 13th month to the store. Exactly. And that's what we're focused on. And the 3 solutions that we're bringing together, getting an accurate diagnostic of the vehicle when you're bringing it in on trade and sharing that information with the fixed ops department.
Wait a second. Now, the old used car manager with the unlit cigar, we all know that guy.
That was me. I didn't have a cigar.
That was Mike. Yeah, that was Mike.
and he's going to put the right figure on Recon. Correct?
Yeah. Hope and pray they're going to do that.
So here you think you've got this much in a vehicle, and you find out that you're going to need repairs other than what they denoted on the initial appraisal.
That's true. And cars are so complicated today, Jim. They, an engine light could mean that the Sirius XM radio subscription expired, or it needs a new transmission. And unless you have detailed information that our solutions can help provide, you might make bad decisions.
I used to use a piece of black tape to just put over.
I've heard things, Jim, that people have done to get rid of that check engine light. But what Randy was just saying, if you think about where the market is currently, you're not stocking 100 to sell 100. I mean, it is very precise. And when you think about holding costs, your actual cost to do business, today, actually had a dealer tell me something that just blew my mind. It really summed up using Blue Driver Max. And he said, look, a dealer using Blue Driver Max as part of an appraisal, that's like being able to perform an MRI on a patient before you sell them life insurance. I mean, how much more information do you have available about the current real health of that vehicle, what has been done or what's been gotten rid of in its past? So that way you can do an actual reconditioning estimate based on real data. And since the market's so precise, if you're not retailing the vast majority of your inventory within the first 30 to 35 days, and that means compressing the amount of time it takes you to buy a car, transport it, get it through the reconditioning process, and ready for retail sale, like actual deliverable down the road motors, then you're going to lose money at day 30 to 35. So we got to really focus on that data.
Used cars devalue once a week.
They've devalued. They fluctuate every day.
Every day.
Yeah, every day. And that's the thing. So when Randy was talking about adding turns, we know that a simple math is if you can decrease the amount of time that it takes you to get a car sold by an average of 2.5 days, every time you do that. So if your average amount of time it takes you to sell a car is 30 and you decrease that by 2.5 days, you add a whole additional turn to your inventory. Now think about that impact to the bottom line when you're talking about all those extra customers you're taking in for the future, the gross profit you're making right now, the fixed ops opportunity. I mean, it just really blows up and it really makes a huge difference. And we see those kind of improvements when a dealer's just starting to really get control of that ecosystem, right? And start to use our tools all the way from appraisal through reconditioning to interacting.
16,000 sublet techs.
That's correct.
Talk about that.
Randy, you want to handle that, or I'm happy to handle that?
Yeah, no, I mean, we've mentioned the fact that we've got 16,000 technicians utilizing our software today, proven solutions in the marketplace. Some of them are, traditional reconditioning companies that many dealerships work with today. And some of our proven solutions are also today already used by dealerships. And we're excited that we're bringing to NADA a real comprehensive solution for facilitating used car reconditioning to the general dealership population now.
Fantastic. Leslie, what haven't we said so far?
I can expand a little more on Blue Driver. So we talked about.
I was wanting you to do that. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. So there are lots of scan tools out there, but it's not just about being able to scan the vehicle. It's about understanding the condition of the vehicle. And so we don't just provide codes, we provide what that code actually means. And one great feature is the possible fixes. So depending on what was read off of the vehicle, we'll provide you with the most common repairs so that it helps truly understand the condition. You can also see history codes. So if anything had been cleared in a sneaky way, you can also identify that up front. And
let me ask you, because I don't know the answer to this question.
Sure.
How does Blue Driver Max implement? I mean, how does the dealer use it?
Yeah, sure. It's super easy scan tool. I should have had one on hand in front of me. But you plug that into the OBD2 and it's a Bluetooth device. So it wirelessly connects to your Apple or Android phone. And we've got a really simple, easy to use app. You can perform different types of scans depending on how.
So the app on your handheld, you immediately diagnose the vehicle.
Absolutely. And then for our dealer customers, they can also access all of their scan history through our back office application. And that allows them to see any of the scans they performed. You can add additional users, and you can even create your own custom reports that are branded with your company logo in case you would need to provide those to other customers. But the big reason that we're seeing such demand for it through dealers is that we have engaged with all the major online auctions are currently using this to help assess their own vehicles. And dealers are now wanting this same tool for their own benefit. And so
they're actually using it and promoting it with their dealers.
Yeah.
That same thing like Leslie's talking about, using that information as a sales aid. You're like, hey, here's what we found, here's what we did, and then here's where it's currently at. The auctions are having such success with it that they're trying to get more and more dealers to use it because it creates, wonderful interaction, and it's all about the data.
Yeah. And so any dealer can easily, quickly plug this in when they're trying to acquire vehicles, whether that's at an auction or if it's a private trade. They can quickly diagnose the vehicle, get a true understanding of the condition of the vehicle so that they can make better decisions then on what to do next when it comes to reconditioning or selling, and just bringing in additional used vehicles, helping them bring in additional used vehicles.
So a full demo at NADA.
Absolutely. The other thing that's interesting, Jim, is we've created integration between the Blue Driver Max diagnostic data and the reconditioning workflow software that you'll also get a chance to see at NADA.
Repair 360.
So that Repair 360 software platform really helps manage the workflow at the dealership. And that diagnostic information can give a heads up to the service department right away that they might need a certain part that they don't have on hand. So it really helps facilitate better communication between the used car department and the fixed ops department.
How many dealers are you using this
big
for?
opportunity? I'm sorry, but I was just going to say, that really is the biggest opportunity that the dealer market has, is removing that friction, that historical friction between fixed ops and sales, because those are two completely different people. And really there's three groups you have to consider as part of the reconditioning. Going from appraisal to reconditioning to retail is you have your sales side who wants to buy and sell cars. You have your fixed ops who want to turn wrenches, and they're very efficient with their time, and they want access to more vehicles, and then also a better way to manage the third parties. And through our ecosystem and having these tools be able to work together, it's that constant transfer of information of what's necessary and what's needed to give everybody the benefit they desire. That's how you get them to work together, right? It has to make sense to them. And you're transferring that information of, hey, when I bought this car, when I appraised this car, this is what we understood, this is what we knew, and this is what we plan to do, which then can transfer to the people who do the work, who turn the wrenches, not only through your own internal employees and service department, but then as needed, you can use that information when you're engaging with your third-party vendors to streamline that interaction. That's where the real benefit comes in of using our tools.
Randy?
Yeah, I think there are, I think you're going to ask, number of clients that we currently have. There are thousands of customers that use our software today.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, thousands of customers that are using our software today. We've got large dealer groups with centralized reconditioning, leveraging these solutions today to power their reconditioning programs, as well as I mentioned, large reconditioning third-party vendors.
And you and I were talking on chat last week. You mentioned some of the big dealer groups that are using this, and now this is available to everybody, and they can come by your booth. NADA. Let's see, there it comes.
Yep. Yeah, we're very excited to have a presence at NADA this year for the first time, where we're going to be offering our comprehensive solution to the general dealer population. So we're super excited. I've been selling software into this market since a long time ago, both with CDK and with Cox Automotive, and I'm excited to be part of this organization now and bringing really true value to the dealerships.
How did this technology get developed? What was it? You saw the pain, you saw the need, and
so Repair on Demand is a portfolio of software companies that we've acquired over the last 3 or 4 years. And we've been spending time now over the last 12 to 18 months beginning to bring them together.
I was going to ask how they communicate with each other.
Yeah, whether that's Blue Driver Max and taking that diagnostic data and integrating it in with Repair 360, the software platform that helps power reconditioning processes, and now the Repair Exchange, so that you can send work to a third-party vendor electronically and communicate more effectively, including accepting payments between the two
Oh,
parties.
I missed that.
Streamlining payment.
I missed that. And I'm wondering if everybody else missed it. So you can transmit data to the third-party vendor.
That's correct, through the Repair Exchange and Repair 360. Yep.
And what savings does that equate to?
It saves time. It makes the process more efficient. It removes mistakes that can happen. Maybe sometimes things don't get repaired the first time, or there's time wasted as you're trying to communicate with the third-party vendor as they're asking if they can do additional work that they've identified that needs to be done to the car that the used car manager didn't see the first time. So there's a lot of time savings and expense savings that can be managed more efficiently between the two parties.
It removes a lot of the headaches too around invoicing and billing that happens.
I always go to the easy, just
What?
like Leslie's saying. Well, exactly what you're saying. I mean, it really makes it so much easier than the traditional way of managing it.
You know, Mike, we're talking about the old used car manager, but I saw a stat recently that 35% of the managers in the business today were not in the business before COVID.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
There's a lot of used car managers that really are not totally experienced.
Well, that's where the technology steps in, really, because I mean, experience is good and bad. I mean, I've got 30 years. And so, I mean, believe me, I can tell you it's both good and bad. The good part about having all these fresh faces and fresh perspectives is that they're really pushing technology to provide the answers rather than throwing man hours at it or woman hours. Really, you know, I mean, the old days of killing
Person
yourself,
hours.
Person hours, yeah.
killing yourself to try to do everything as a 1 or 2 person band are gone. Now, through the use of technology, I mean, you have real access to information 24 hours a day or 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that way you can make informed decisions.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful for the dealers.
And the fact that all these pieces are connected, it just gives you that much more data that's consistent and tied together. So there's
That's
less
the
room for
secret sauce.
error, more room to like properly analyze and understand your business and where the improvements can be made.
We're talking to Repair on Demand folks, and they're going to be at NADA. $100 Amazon gift certificate to do what, Leslie?
Sit with us and let us show you these solutions in real life and how they work. And we'd be happy to thank you with a $100 Amazon gift card, or even just for stopping by and having a conversation. We'll also enter you for a chance to win a Yeti cooler that we're giving away each day. And we won't make you take it with you. We'll ship it to you directly.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
It's a good carry-on item.
Yeah, you
Right?
put it out there.
You know, that $100 gift card, really, I think it's an investment. That's the way you have to look at it. You know, we're asking you to invest some of your time. And we know there's a lot of flashy things and things you could see at NADA. But I can tell you from my own experience, what we're bringing there is extremely impressive and long overdue. And there's a reason why nobody's really been able to tackle that monster that is called the end-to-end reconditioning process, right? Appraisal, reconditioning, all the way through. And we're saying, hey, invest in us a little bit of time. We'll invest in you because we feel very confident that when you come to our booth at NADA and see a demo, that you'll understand how we're solving to that problem and removing that friction.
Yeah. And if there's anybody watching and they're not going to be at NADA, we will extend that same offer to them. Just reach out to any of us and we're happy to help set that up.
Yeah, repairondemand.com.
I got it right. Hey, it's good at the bottom, Randy.
I see it. It's scrolling across. That's great.
Yeah, I got that. So what have we not told people so far, Randy?
I think one of the things that we wanted to make sure that we shared is that there are challenges today in the fixed ops department. And one of them, quite frankly, is that there are more and more new cars coming on to the lot. I think at the beginning of January, there were about 2.6 million new cars on the lot across the country at dealerships. And those new cars actually take fixed ops time. Pre-delivery inspections, adding accessories, those take up time that the fixed op department used to have over the last couple of years to focus on used car reconditioning. So now they have less time available to recondition used cars. And so we want to help them streamline the process.
Most
so that they can get better at it.
Most dealerships do not have dedicated recon techs.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing that we're learning is recently the franchise dealerships are losing repair to independent repair shops and the national chains after warranty. And so there's going to be a big focus of dealerships to market their service department.
Convenience is, the consumers are looking for convenience. They're looking, they're looking, they don't want a long drawn out. I see dealerships, and one of the things that really irks me is when you see a sign that says quick lube.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing quick about a dealership.
There's nothing quick about it. Yeah. Well, and so as they're focused on marketing their service department and trying to bring more customers back, that's going to fill up the service bays as well and crimp the amount of time available for reconditioning. So having a reconditioning solution, there's still about half the market today, half of dealerships today are still using spreadsheets and whiteboards to manage the reconditioning process. And so with more new cars coming back and with marketing more service hours available to their installed base of customers that they sold cars to, they need to focus on reconditioning and streamlining that process as best as possible.
So Leslie, I see you jumping up and down. What have we not told people?
I'm just nodding in agreement. I don't know what else to share at this point. Anything, Mike?
Repair 360.
Yep.
Blue Driver Max.
Solution. Blue Driver Max for easily scanning, diagnosing, appraising vehicles, and Repair Exchange for helping manage any of your third-party vendors or even accessing new sublet repairs to help you get those vehicles repaired more quickly. And they can all be, if just one of those appeals to somebody, they don't have to be sold as a set. We're happy to help with any of these solutions depending on.
So you can contract the solutions independently of each other. You don't have to.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you come to the booth and you have a demo of our solution and you just like the diagnostic tool, the Blue Driver Max, you can buy that by itself, or you can buy the whole solution. We're flexible. And
you've got some. How many clients are on this right now?
Like I said, we have thousands of clients today using our software.
Yeah, there's $1.7 billion in repair going through our different solutions that we've talked about here today.
I love it.
Yeah, and
Mike, what have we not talked about?
I'm sorry, say that again, Jim.
I said, what have we not talked about?
No, I think we've done a wonderful job encompassing the opportunity. And as Randy was saying, with new car inventories rising, with depreciation on used cars and the market, starting to somewhat normalize, at least go back a little bit more to what we were used to, where it's more competitive. In the service lane, anytime that you have to not take a retail customer in to do your used car or vice versa, you're losing money. So everybody wants more technicians. Those are not coming. So the only way you have is to get more efficient in your processes and the people you have. And then when you think about controlling that end-to-end opportunity, right, buying more efficiently, understanding and being able to diagnosing real estimates at time of appraisal to be able to improve your look to book, get them in. But then as you're getting more efficient with your own internal teams in your fixed ops department through Repair 360, again, you also have access to those 16,000 plus network of third-party vendors to help offset some of that load. So that way you're not turning away as many customers who are then leaving and shopping your competitor down the road when they're time.
The techs are overwhelmed today with warranty work.
They sure are.
Yeah. And so again, if you can't throw people at it, because you always want to hire people and it's very hard, almost impossible to get good technicians, right? Then you have to look at your processes and find efficiencies everywhere you can. And that'll never end, but this is a giant leap forward for the dealership.
Yeah, I never envisioned sublet vendors doing work that the techs as overflow.
Well, really,
Sometimes
it's
it's
all of
overflow.
those jobs. It's all of those jobs. So there are so many different things that have to be done as part of the reconditioning process, whether you're transporting the car to or from auction or a trade-in to or from the dealership and the car you sold to or from the consumer, right? All the way through the turning of the wrenches to the detail, to the windshield chip repairs or windshield replacement or dent repair. Those are all opportunities that, of course, you always want to leverage your people as much as possible. But the answer, not in this market where, it's becoming so precise on your opportunity to make money, in that 30 to 35 days, unless the obvious, pushes for less amount of time in inventory to maximize your gross opportunity. The emphasis has to be on moving the ball forward, using all resources at your capability and understanding what you can do. Not just, like you said earlier, Jim, sticking it in the back row while it collects dust.
Taking a sun bath behind the fence.
That's right.
I can tell you right now, see, not 2 decades ago, it was 60-day turn.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was aiming for a 60-day turn. Today, a lot of reasons the book is so erratic right now. You've got to turn that vehicle in 35 days, 40 days.
Absolutely. And that's where that, good Blue Driver Max diagnosis, the diagnostic scan as part of the appraisal process allows you to really understand what you're getting into, because sometimes the best decision you'll make is not to take the car in, or at least you want to take every car in. Let me change that a little bit, but I want to take it in at the money you want to take it in at the money you can afford to take it in at. And if you can't, then at least you're giving yourself options of something else to do with it.
Now, what a profound statement! What a profound statement you just made. There's time to pass on a deal because you can't afford to take in the trade.
And maybe passing on the deal means taking it on trade at the time of appraisal because you have the right information, understanding that your opportunity to make money is
putting the right figure on the car.
You need to push it somewhere else, whoever the best end user is.
Yeah, you might not want to retail it. Maybe the best solution for you is to wholesale it right away.
We've got so many inexperienced managers in the sales end today. When I get involved with a dealership, one of the things I look for is how many times during the sale did we bump the appraisal to make the deal? How many times, we're not negotiating with the consumer, we're negotiating with the used car manager.
Right.
And we're not
really, I am a big fan of you draw your line in the sand. This is the money that this vehicle is worth to me. And that's either I'm going to keep it and retail it, or I'm going to take it in and wholesale it. But that decision needs to be made at the time of appraisal using real information and real data and your real understanding of your current market and your capabilities to get that vehicle to market.
And your management will have to justify to the general manager, the dealer principal, the authority figure, why that figure was put on the car to start with.
Right.
Think about all that data that it produces. Hey, why did we pass on these last 5 cars? Because of this, this, and this, I can't afford to retail it. That opens up the books and opens up communication with your own team. That's that ecosystem. Hey, let's really talk about what we're spending and what we're doing. Are we all aligned on what the mission is? Do we need to change something? We're just scratching the surface of the opportunity here.
Yeah.
How many times have I seen a dealership, we made $3,000 gross on that deal, and then all the ROs come in.
A different story.
The next thing you know, it's 500, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Or even a negative. I've seen that a lot lately because frankly, there's a lot of quality issues in cars right now. Does the tool spot warranty work, recalls, things that need to be done on the vehicle?
Blue Driver Max? Is that
Yes.
a question?
Does Blue Driver Max report to you on recalls or warranty work that needs to be done on the vehicle?
I'd have to double check that one. I don't know if you guys know.
I'm not sure on the recalls or warranty repairs, because I know it's giving you a current state of health. It's giving you previous history. If something's been cleared, giving you a good idea of what's going on right now, what's happened in its past. But we'd have to look into that piece.
But you'll know by NADA.
For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So sorry to throw the curveball at you. Just
No worries, Jim.
Not at all.
I always expect that from you.
oh, quit it, Randy. Oh, Randy, you and I go back, what, 20 years?
Yeah, at least. Yep.
At least. So anyway, Randy, as we wind down, we've given a lot of information. What have we not discussed that you really want to get out in this broadcast?
Yeah, we've hit on a lot of great topics, and I think the last thing I'd like to say is to invite all of those listening to this webinar to join us at NADA. We would love to have you stop by our booth at 6237 in the North Hall that you have scrolling on the bottom.
It is, and the other thing, they don't need to wait until NADA. They can go on the website and communicate with you right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love to provide a demo right now for them, or connect them with some of our sales team to learn more about our solutions today. And I think the last thing, Jim, and I've shared this with you before, I just love our industry. It's still today, despite the consolidation that's happening with the largest dealer groups, it's still a bunch of family-owned businesses that are pillars of their community, that sponsor the Little League baseball team. And I just love that about our industry. And I'm passionate about helping dealers get better. And this is one area that, quite frankly, they've neglected. And
we are traditionally and historically involved in the community. That's
absolutely.
And, well, here's another question. Independent dealers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have independent clients?
Yeah, we do. And actually, the repair exchange and connecting them with third-party vendors is even more important to them because they don't have their own service department for the majority of the time. So we are passionate about helping independent dealers as well. And if there are any independent dealers, sometimes they come to NADA. We'd love to see them as well. And we're looking at going to NIADA this year as well. And
a lot of independent dealers watch these broadcasts.
That's great.
And they can contact you. The website's on the screen right now.
For sure. So, absolutely.
Because I tell you, I'm working with a lot more independent dealers than ever because they're operating like a new car franchise.
They sure are. Yeah. They're getting more and more sophisticated, and in order to compete with the franchise stores in their market, they are, a lot of them are doing a great job.
And they have to adapt and change. I mean, that's how they stay in business, is they cannot be sluggish. They have to be the first one to raise their hand and say, I don't know something, but I'm going to figure it out. So yeah, they're quite impressive.
Mike, I'm working with an independent dealer in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm not going to name the dealer. 3 locations. They've got service departments. They bought older existing dealerships that already had service departments.
Set up.
That's great.
And they're already having service departments. They're operating identically to the way that a new car franchise dealer operates.
Yeah, that's what we would consider franchise-like. The only difference is you don't have that connection to OEM.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's not all bad.
Sometimes that makes it a lot easier. But yeah, when you look at that dealership or those 3 stores, now think how many third-party vendors or what kind of access do they have traditionally versus the pull of a franchise dealership, right? So tools like ours are even more important there because they bring those added resources right to them.
Now, offline, I was talking to Randy. It's a very affordable solution. We're not going to get into pricing right here, but I know for a fact this is not something that's going to break the bank. It's going to be a very affordable set of solutions.
It blew my mind when I came aboard. I'm like, that's how much we're charging? I'm like, okay. Yeah, I like that because I like to help dealers. I think that's more than just.
We're going to be in Vegas, so we're not talking a blackjack chip.
Yeah, there's a great ROI on our solution, and we're super excited about what we can help the dealer deliver.
Repair on demand. Leslie, what have we not said?
I think we've covered it all. I guess just in closing, I'm sure you can see the passion behind each of us and what it is that we have to offer and how we can help our customers. And would love the opportunity just to have that conversation with anyone that happens to be at NADA or otherwise.
And by the way, share this broadcast, folks. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on LinkedIn. So we have a lot of channels that we're broadcasting on right now. Share the replays. So by all means, so let's get this message out. Everybody here is totally passionate. And one thing about this, it lets you see the personalities behind the product.
Right.
You're real people. You can see they're passionate. They care.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So right now, go ahead, Leslie.
Oh, I said we have a great team that extends beyond just the three of us that are there to help our customers and make sure that we can successfully enable them with any of the solutions that
North America, USA, and Canada, right?
That's right. Yeah, I'm the
Leslie's
Canadian
in Canada right now. Yeah.
Oh golly, I've been trying to get the government to invade Canada for years.
I hope you like snow.
Okay, guys. Best thing we can do right now is wave goodbye to the audience.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, everybody, for joining.
Thanks, Jim.